Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and Chris.
Hi,
Hello.
people. Hi.
Like you already knew that. You already know that's Chris. And I figured why not? Let's do a little recap show. We had 2 nights, about 8 hours, maybe 9. That's excluding all the stuff we had on NXT. We're going to recap WrestleMania. Chris, how are you doing today, sir?
Bro, I am relishing in the post WrestleMania weekend, and I'm drained.
Man, tell me. It's funny because Brian Zayn calls this the grind, just because all the content he has to put out. It's kind of insane. So WrestleMania is wrapped up. Night 2 was last night. Just quick, without going into any detail, because we will be doing that. What were your overall thoughts on the weekend? We'll include NXT in that as well.
The whole fantastic. NXT was incredible both nights. Night 1 of Mania was incredible. Night 2 was not the best, but like you said, overall, it lived up to the hype of WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, I tend to agree, man. I was kind of worried. I think a lot of it had to do, not a lot, because the matches were good, but just having fans. Man, what a breath of fresh air. See the fans, and I mean, we'll kick it off now. Night 1, the entrance things could have been better. Do you mean there wasn't that many elaborate entrances? Because I kind of noticed that too. I think Rhea was really the only one.
Rhea, the Fiend, technically, I guess, got something special, but it wasn't crazy.
Yeah. So night 1 had kicked off. Vince McMahon came to the ring and did the whole thank you. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of got emotional because it was like, aw, Rhea Ripley was shedding a tear, and Roman Reigns was sitting there in a suit, looking all good and shit. It was nice. I mean, but we waited a year, and now we had to wait more because there was a rain delay. The first time in history where finally get fans, and Mother Nature's like, nah, you can wait a little bit longer.
I've said it before. WWE deserves it. They need to stop booking outdoor arenas.
Well, hey, outdoor arenas, I guess they get the most, so what are you going to do? But I will say the one thing that I liked out of the rain delay was those promos that we got. Those backstage promos where I feel like Vince was just telling his guys, hey, you know what? Fill time. Say as much as you want. We saw a great one from Kevin Owens, just a great promo that he cut. Drew and Bobby.
I thought were going to actually murder each other.
Yeah, it at least seemed like that. So Raw's in the Thunderdome tonight, correct? Yeah. They had to move it from Tampa Bay's, the Rays' home stadium, because obviously the Rays are playing baseball now. I don't know where exactly it is. Will knows. Do you know?
No clue. I know it's not going to be the CWC where they have NXT, but I don't know where they have the new deal at. Obviously not Tropicana, because the Rays have a game in 3 hours. So
yeah. Eli, hello, sir. WrestleMania with a crowd. Tonight's Raw after Mania with Thunderdome is going to feel so weird. So I texted the group chat and I said, I'm kind of happy, but I'm kind of upset because we have fans, but Monday and the rest is just going to be up back to the screen. So who knows how long it's going to happen. But after the rain delay, we finally got the first match that we had, which was, we knew it was going on first, the WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre trying to get his title back from Bobby Lashley. I'm going to be honest, when I heard this match was going on first, I was like, oh yeah, Drew's going to win, and he's finally going to get his win in front of the crowd.
Yeah.
But no.
Personally, I think they did the right thing in having Bobby win. But, they still want Drew to have his moment with the fans. So you could have seen either option.
You could have. Eli, University of South Florida Gymnasium is the new home. Wow. Okay. Well, when it's going to lose, we will get to that, sir. So I kind of noted that the crowd in the beginning of this match, Bobby versus Drew, they kind of felt a little dead. And what do you expect? I mean, no one likes to be sitting in the rain. They had to wait another 45 hours just for the show to start. So the crowd was a little dead, but they did pick up. So Drew this was kind of a story of Bobby Lashley just taking it to Drew McIntyre. Every time Drew McIntyre tried to mount a comeback, Bobby just had an answer for it. Drew hit Bobby with 3 Future Shock DDTs, like 3 of them. Lashley still kicks out. Towards the end, Lashley's setting up for a Claymore, and MVP just stands up and yells, "Bobby!" And for some reason, that distracts Drew. I don't know why. There's fans screaming, but Bobby, that distracted him. Bobby pops up, dodges the Claymore, locks him in the hurt lock. Drew passes out. He didn't tap, but he did pass out. And Bobby Lashley retains. Drew McIntyre didn't hit 1 Claymore in this whole match. He did not hit a Claymore. I kind of echo your sentiments. I thought it was the right choice. Bobby Lashley deserves this title. Excuse me. He came back with the, thought that it's going to be Brock versus Bobby for the title. It never happened. He finally gets a title. And even though they fucked it all up by breaking up the Hurt Business, him and MVP together, I think it was definitely the right decision.
The right decision to break them up or to keep them together?
No. It was the right decision for Bobby to keep the title. It was a horrible decision to break the team up. That was horrible. I don't understand.
Yeah, it is very, very questionable. I feel like they obviously missed a chance to have all of Hurt Business dripped in gold, but
it would have. What did you think about this match though? As far as this was kind of like a Drew kept on trying to get it, but he just couldn't. Like, did you like the match overall? Yeah,
I did. I did enjoy it actually. It's like you said, the crowd wasn't as into it because they had to wait and wait and wait, but it was still the very first entrance in a year and a month or two with fans, so they still went off during the entrances, but during the match it was a little, I'm not gonna say sloppy, but a little not as loud as we might have expected. And I mentioned on our show that I feel like the wrestlers kind of had to readjust to being with fans, trying to call out their spots and trying to figure out, like, I mean, obviously they've been wrestling for 10 plus years each, so they've been wrestling with crowds, but if you do anything without something for a year, you're still gonna have to readjust.
I mean, just imagine, that's definitely an adjustment period. I mean, you're just used to, because to us, like, it's loud because WWE has piped in all the crowd noise, but to them, it's just dead quiet. Like, it's just quiet as hell. So yeah, the adjustment, I think, and I kind of mentioned it in the group too, between this match and the next match that we're going to talk about, the Tag Team Turmoil, it had to be crazy humid in Florida. Obviously, Florida's known for humidity, but you could see, because like I said, Bobby and Drew, and then the women in the Tag Team Turmoil, they just looked so blown up, like looked like winded. And I'm like, man, like it was raining, so obviously the humidity is going to be a problem, but they looked really blown up within the first 2 matches that I saw. Eli said it's also the same university where one half of the new Raw Tag Team Champions Omos played basketball. Look at that.
Wow, that's going to be cool for him tonight.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Is this the first time in a good while that both Raw and SmackDown major, minor, and tag team champions are all currently being held by heels, at least in the men's division? I don't think so, actually. I think because there was a point in time where every championship was held by a heel, I think.
Even women's and
there was
everything.
Time they were looking, because the narrative was that WWE don't know how to build up baby faces, and that may be true. So the next match was the Tag Team Turmoil match. This was between Lana and Naomi, Billie Kay and Carmella, the Riot Squad, Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, and Natalya and Tamina. So I did not care about this match.
They performed way better than I expected, but the result just kind of ruined everything.
I mean, I don't know, because I feel like the crowd was really behind Tamina, man.
Really?
For some reason, like, I don't know. If
she's not from Florida, but I mean, the whole Samoan family is technically a Florida family. So,
but night 1 and night 2, like, she was getting a lot. She was getting a lot from the crowd. So, Lana and Naomi started off with Billie Kay and Carmella. Billie Kay and Carmella, they get rid of Lana and Naomi. The Riot Squad come out. They pin Billie Kay and Carmella. Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose come out. Mandy Rose trips and falls. That was our first casualty of the night. She recovered, though. Like, she got up and she was just like, what the hell? Like,
she played it off very well.
Yeah, she played it off. So Liv Morgan rolls up Dana Brooke. Then Natalya and Tamina come out. They hit the heart attack. They hit a heart attack. Natalya goes for a sharpshooter and tells Tamina, no, get your ass up there. Tamina does the Superfly Splash. They win. They obviously face Shayna and Nia on night 2. Like I said, I just really wasn't really... This was like, okay, whatever. Like, they had to throw this on there. I really didn't care, to be honest. But they did good, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the actual wrestling of the match was pretty good, but just I don't know. I feel like a tag team turmoil for a pointless women's tag team division on WrestleMania is questionable. They put the Andre the Giant and the SmackDown tag team match on SmackDown. Could have easily put one of those on WrestleMania and put all that women's tag team stuff on SmackDown.
I agree with you there. Trust me. It's kind of crazy how NXT has had a women's tag team title for less than a month, and they've already booked it. He did. Eli was waiting for Bellas to be the last team in the women's turmoil match. Otherwise, the Riot Squad were hitting the great double team moves. So that's what we were talking about. Someone said it during the stream that the Bellas are going to come out, and I was like, "Yep, that I could definitely see that happening."
That's WWE, yeah.
That's WWE, and of course,
Mike wants to smoke. Mike wants to smoke.
Respect to Bianca Belair winning the Smack. Yeah, well, trust me.
We'll get there.
Trust me on that one. All right, after that, just this. Oh, man, Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Come on, man. Like, you have those two. Cesaro is, in my opinion, and I want them to test this, I think he is this isn't a hyperbole, the strongest man in WWE right now. I think he is stronger than Brock and Bobby and all that. And then you have Seth Rollins, who is just incredible. We all know this. Them two had an amazing A+ 5-star match. In my opinion, I love this match.
Cesaro finally got his time, and they fucking killed it. That was my match of the night until the main event, but so good.
So the match started off just big European uppercut right from there. Cesaro keeps trying to get Seth in the Cesaro swing. Obviously, that's what this whole build and this whole match was built up upon. Seth hits this nice ass like corkscrew splash like for a near fall, which was really nice. Cesaro hits the neutralizer for a near fall as well. Seth counters. I forgot what he countered, but he countered it. Oh, a neutralizer. I think he flips out of the neutralizer, hits a pedigree, which I was like, oh, okay, we're bringing the pedigree back. Seth goes for a stomp. Cesaro counters it, gets him in that UFO. No hands, just around. I'm like, Jesus, man, this guy is just, man. And then we got the swing. Now, on commentary, they said 23 swings. He beat his record, right? But I was counting when he did it, and I recounted afterwards. He only did 19. So, blah.
And I could have sworn he'd done one a couple of years ago that was like 40-something long.
At least, yeah. But he definitely only did 19, which, you know what? I don't care. It's still impressive to spin a guy 19 times. Like, the strength that
after doing the UFO, yeah.
Doing the UFO. Like, Cesaro hits a neutralizer, and yeah, he wins. Finally gets a moment. I really, really hope the crowd was just so happy for this. I really hope this means that Cesaro is going to get some kind of a push. I mean, Roman wins, and we'll get to that. But you have to think that Cesaro has to get a title shot. You have to think this.
Yeah, I mean, he's only earned it. I mean, there's nothing less. I mean, it's not like he went and tried and maybe he should get a chance. He won at WrestleMania. Because I personally want Big E to go for it, but he lost.
Yeah. I'm gonna get to that actually. We're actually gonna talk about that.
All in time, folks. All in time.
They switched KO versus Zayn from night 2 to night 1 with this. Look, we have to have some great wrestling on night 2. You can't put all the good shit on night 1. Without that match, Jesus. Just love the amount of power the crowd was cheering on for Cesaro. That was certainly an amazing moment. Yeah, it really was. And if this is true, they counted seconds, not swings. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Plus, I don't even think it was 23 seconds. I could be wrong, but either way. Like you said, I definitely agree with you. This was my match of the night up until the main event. This match was just great.
Yeah. And our co-host Andrew mentioned that the corkscrew frog splash and the UFO are both callbacks to their ROH days.
Really?
Fucking camera keeps freezing, I swear to God. Yeah, they both used to hit those moves all the time in ROH, and I didn't watch it back then, so I didn't know that. But when he called that. I mean, I'm sure they wrestled each other in ROH. So
yeah, I never used to watch either, but yeah, now that he said that, that's fucking great. There were a lot of there were callbacks in this match, and then there were callbacks in the KO versus Zayn match that ultimately get to. The next match after the Cesaro and Seth Rollins. I'm not getting into the promos. I know Bailey had a couple of things with
ding dong.
I didn't even know what you did that to me, and I didn't know what it was because I haven't watched. So I will say this though, I am kind of glad that at least Bailey got to get some TV time. She gets a paycheck, so she didn't wrestle, but she gets a Mania paycheck.
True.
All about taking losses. What?
I was gonna say, and then night 2, she kind of got fucked over, but we'll go into that later.
Talk anyway. The New Day putting their Raw Tag Team Championships up against the new team making his debut. Well, AJ Styles and making his debut, Omos. The beginning of this match, I was fucking dying. I love the New Day. Omos was going to start the match, but the New Day kind of baited AJ into starting the match. And the New Day's obviously the face, but they were acting kind of heelish.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they were just taunting AJ. Like, they were Woods gets down, plays a trombone, and Kofi's just dancing in the ring, which is hilarious.
And what absolute madmen they are, wanting one of the greatest wrestlers of all time and Sev the Giant Man.
I know, yeah. Because Woods is like in the corner. He's like, "You're not a tag team wrestler. You don't know this. We are literally cutting the ring in half." Like, funny to listen, man. I was just dying. So Styles, after they just kind of double team him, they do the unicorn stomp that they used to do. Styles is down. Woods goes to the top rope, and I thought this was a great moment where Styles comes to, and Woods is looking at him like, "No, don't you go." And Styles just tags in almost. This big son of a bitch just comes in, taking they're drop kicking him. This dude isn't even moving. Like, he's just takes Kofi's arm, flips him, and throws him. AJ springboards off the rope, grabs onto Omos. Phenomenal forearm off of Omos. Omos with, like, I know he used to do, they called it like the jackknife choke slam or something like that, but this wasn't really it because he grabbed him like under here. So I don't know what his finish is, but
I'm trying to think of what they called it when Kali used it. It was like a chokehold choke slam or some shit like that.
Either way, like, Kofi's like 11 feet up in the air right now. Slams him down. AJ's like 1 foot on, and now we have new Raw Tag Team Champions.
I loved that whole match. Like, obviously it wasn't like match of the night compared to what else we had to, or what else we went through throughout the rest of the night. Entertainment wise, that was incredible.
It was.
And I mentioned it the other night that the New Day is my all-time favorite tag team just because of how entertaining they are. And I mean, each man has an insane wrestling ability, but the entertainment aspect is and then they go in there and fight this dude who's about 8.5 feet tall and he's teaming with a top 10 all-time wrestler. And
what'd you say? I was reading a comment. What'd you say?
My favorite, like, I'm not gonna say comedic, but like entertainment versus an 8.5-foot man,
Right.
and arguably a top 10 all-time wrestler. And they made it look like it wasn't a squash, but it kind of was.
It kind of was. It wasn't, and then Omos came in, and before I say, let's just get through some of these. We all know Bayley was low-key third host for Mania.
Yes.
Really. And I mean, the way the crowd reacted, Hogan probably shouldn't even have been in there. This dude couldn't speak. Every time he grabbed the microphone, they booed the shit out of him. And you know that you're a racist when a fucking state like Florida is booing you. That was... No, I don't. I hate Florida. Anyway, Aaron has returned. Just saw a kid walking down the stairs who's like 6 foot with a WWE kid's back. Don't be his friend. Give almost all the belts. Yeah, seriously. Good. Yeah. Daniel Miller should have canceled the women's tag team turmoil match. That should have been on shit down. Shit down. That's
nice. SmackDown's decent. Have some respect.
And Punjabi Plunge. The Punjabi Plunge. Look at Eli over here saving us. So, going back to what you said about the New Day, they are so damn entertaining. But the crazy thing is that they've been doing this for so long, and they're still entertaining.
It's crazy to think they've been a tag team for 7 years.
7 years! Like, what the hell? And they're still entertaining. And yeah, man, that was a really fun match. Like I said, it wasn't a 5-star match or anything like that. It was just really fun. It was really fun. I really enjoy it. And now, you know what? Omos, Bad Bunny is better than Omos. I'll say that. And we'll get to that too.
Facts.
The next match, I really didn't build this kind of shit, and I didn't care for the match. Braun Strowman versus Shane McMahon, steel cage match. I'm not even gonna go through it.
That was the only match of this whole weekend I gave 0 shits about.
Yeah.
I can't stand Shane and I can't stand Braun, so why would I want to watch them face each other?
Braun I'm not even gonna. Pretty much the end. Shane gets out of the cage, but then he sticks his hand through the cage, and he has like this, and he's holding, and Braun's holding onto him. And in my mind, I'm like, just let go. Like, you're gonna fall down. There's no way he can. Whatever. Braun rips the fucking cage off, goes to the top. He yeeted, like Andrew said, yeeted him, and Shane actually took a pretty scary bump. Like, he did a flip and all that, but it's Shane McMahon. You know, I'm really surprised he didn't try to jump off the fucking pirate ship.
Yeah, I mentioned the other night, how many more bumps can this old man take?
He only does it once a year.
Still.
So, Braun Strowman wins. This was, in my opinion, just the whole anti-bullying thing. Stand up for your dreams.
Which is funny because Braun's a bully, but...
Yeah. Yeah, really. He really is. The RVD rolling paper line was awesome. Yeah. I'm not going to go into the promo, so I'll go into it now. When that happened, when we saw RVD and Matt Riddle together, Devin, who's like the biggest pothead, was just like sitting there like loving it. And I'm like, wow, they just sponsored rolling papers pretty much on fucking WrestleMania. Like, pretty good. Now just let's get into this. The Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus The Miz and Morrison. What the fuck? Easily, I'm not going to say the greatest celebrity appearance because that goes to Pat McAfee and I don't care what anyone says. But
you homer.
Celebrity WrestleMania match ever. Bad Bunny starts the match, first of all. He starts the fucking match. You have Damian Priest, who's incredible. He's like, no, I got it. And I say we have to give so much credit to The Miz here. Because The Miz really made... Bunny was good. He was really good. But Miz made him look so much better, too. Like, really putting over his stuff.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
I liked it.
And, I mean, we can only... Yes, Bad Bunny can do it. He's learned but everything. But you still got to have people to, like, not necessarily teach them, but take the moves. And I kind of feel like I mentioned this towards like the beginning of the match when Priest was kind of like directing a few things. I feel like Priest was kind of there to help like direct and help with some stuff.
You can practice the moves all you want, but being in actually doing the match is completely different. So yeah, and Damian Priest, I hope that they don't give him the Aleister Black treatment and just forget about him, because I think he really does connect with the crowd. I think the crowd really does like him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bad Bunny just doing the Shane McMahon punches to the Miz, swinging head scissors, which was like, what the fuck? Like, it took forever too. Like, he did like 3 rotations. Swinging head scissors. Morrison beats down the Bunny, and he was selling pretty good. He did have that little, they threw him out of the ring and he kind of botched the slide and almost like broke his neck because he hit his head on the rope, but he was selling pretty good. Bad Bunny hits a tornado DDT out of the corner. Priest comes in with the hot tag, goes wild. They hit stereo broken arrows. Like, who is this fucking guy? And then he does a dive to the outside, and it's so, I'm telling you, people think I'm lying. I told you guys, if I was a celebrity and I came in to do wrestling, I would be like, I want to do some crazy shit. Like, I want to do a Canadian Destroyer. And sure enough, what does Bad Bunny do? Hits John Morrison with a beautiful Canadian Destroyer on the outside. What the fuck?
It was nice, man. It was easily the best celebrity performance ever. I'm technically not going to consider Pat McAfee as a celebrity since he is an athlete. So I kind of want to break those apart because, obviously he's going to be able to do crazy shit. He's been training his whole life. Not wrestling, but athletics.
Eli says, too, because he says best celebrity match if we're just talking about Mania. Before this was for sure Bam Bam Bigelow versus LT. LT is just a freak athlete. So,
I haven't seen it.
It was good. LT did pretty good. So his entrance was cool too. The whole driving
the truck.
The truck was pretty cool.
Did you see the little? It's not really a promo, but the little video they did on night 2 with Bad Bunny and Triple H.
I didn't. I saw it today. I didn't see it that night though. Pretty good. I mean,
Bugs Bunny.
Devin wants to go. He can put some respect on his name. Our friend Jonathan, Bad Bunny match gave me that thoughts of it being like what we got with Snooki back. But I'll be damned in saying he exceeded everyone's expectations on what he was able to do. He did. And we heard those reports like that he was at the Performance Center like every day.
Yeah, for at least a month.
Yeah, like
3 weeks to a month.
I don't mind that. When you have celebrities like Snooki or whatever that just come in and they just try to, pretty much, I'm Snooki or whatever. I'm a celebrity. Like, it kind of pisses. But when you have a celebrity like a Pat McAfee, like a Bad Bunny, who come in, who are actually fans, take it serious, put in the work, even if Bad Bunny even if the match wasn't incredible, we know that he, put in the work and he's a fan. I would be like, you know what? He did okay. But he exceeded, like they said, everyone's expectations. It was really good.
I'm genuinely and still in shock with how good it was. I expected, I don't know, 2 or 3 clotheslines and then maybe a dive off the top rope like he did at Rumble.
Yeah.
And he goes in there and constructs a whole fucking match.
Yeah, really.
It was incredible.
It really was. Calling it the Bunny Destroyer. Yeah. I wonder if the people were in the bunny outfits. Those are future NXT champions.
I was going to say they're all NXT guys.
The Becky Lynch that I checked from last year. Oh, yeah. It probably was the same.
Becky was driving it. I guarantee it.
That's what she meant by night 1. She's just
driving. She just drove Bad Bunny to the ring. No big deal.
Yeah. So, and then we had the main event. Oh, man. First of all, you have 2 women headlining a WrestleMania for the first time, singles match. We had a triple threat. The first time that 2 women in a singles match are headlining WrestleMania. Not to mention 2 black women who... Sasha's Puerto Rican, isn't she?
She's some kind of Hispanic and black.
I hate using the term, women of color, but 2 women of color. Man, this fucking... Right out of the gate, they made history. You could see it. Bianca's crying before the bell even rang. And I'm just like, man, like this fucking woman. I love this woman so much. I loved her in NXT. She is just, Jesus Christ. I love her so much. I can't get over how much I love her anyway. Sasha hit a dive through the ropes. Bianca catches her. Gorilla presses her. Just walks up the steps like it's nothing. I haven't even seen men do that. Like, walk up the steps.
Mm-hmm.
And Bianca's just like, yeah, don't worry, I fucking got it.
And it's not like she's holding her either. She has her 2 feet above her going up steps and just chunks her.
Fucking wild. Sasha is, this whole match, Sasha's trying to use Bianca's hair. She like wraps it around her, uses it for the bank statement like as leverage. So we do see that, which is kind of smart because I feel like in Bianca Belair's matches on the main roster, in NXT she used to use her hair all the time, but on the main roster it's like they shied away from it. And I'm like, why? It doesn't make any sense. Bianca hits a actually before that, yeah, they had a tug of war with her hair on the outside, and Bianca just shows how strong she is, pulls it. Sasha goes into the ring post.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't the whip spot yet, was it?
No. Oh, no. I'm getting to that shit. I need to fucking brace myself for that. Bianca does like a delayed suplex where she has her in a suplex position, bounces her off one rope, bounces her off the second, and you could see like she was kind of getting tired toward the end. But after everything she just did, gorilla pressing this woman up steps and all that, to have that wherewithal and have that strength, Jesus, what the fuck? This woman is not human.
It's not fair, man. It's not fair.
It's just not. Sasha Banks is working on Bianca's arms kind of in the match. She hits a bank statement, like I said, with the hair wrapped. Belair hits a 450 splash, and I thought this ended the match. I thought the match was over. Like, I was like, I don't know why, but I thought a 450 splash is going to end it. And Bianca did a great job of selling the kick out. Because Sasha kicks out and Bianca's going nuts. Like, what the hell do I have to do? And then you see her calm herself down. Bianca Belair goes for a KOD. Sasha Banks lands on her feet. They get into a tug of war. Bianca gets her hair. This fucking hair, this hair whip sounded like a fucking shotgun blast.
There had to have been a mic in her braid or something, dude.
No, I don't think so. Dude, do you know how heavy that hair is? No. Like, I couldn't believe I've obviously seen and heard Bianca do her hair stuff before. And maybe, you know what, maybe there was. I doubt it. This just sounded like a gunshot.
It did.
And you could see the crowd's reacting, covering up their face. Sasha just fucking wrecked. Man, incredible. I KOD for the win. Bianca is finally, she won the Royal Rumble. She is the SmackDown Women's Championship match. 7 stars. Excellent. A+. This match was so great, man.
It was that I'm so glad they got main event.
Yeah.
Because they killed it.
It's incredible.
Imagine having that match open the show and then having the Bobby and Drew show match ending it. That probably would have ruined the night.
It would have. And see, it's funny too, because when they announced that Bobby and Drew were going to go first, I said to myself, like, okay, so that means that Sasha and Bianca is going to go last. I thought the night was going to be bookended by title changes. I was like, you're going to have a title change in the beginning. In the end, we didn't have it. But this match being the main event was just the right call. Anything else would have just been ridiculous. The hair whip from hell. Man. Martin's here. I never knew hair could be used that hard as a weapon. I'm telling you, man. It's Jonathan. I just love the callback in the Rumble, having Rhea and Bianca being the last two, and in the end, both of them become the new faces of their respective brands as champions for the women's division. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna come back to you, Daniel. Big Red's here. I have returned. I've just got done applying to the next course in college. Just filmed a monologue and sent it over. Also, night 1 absolutely killed. Night 2 was Rhea and Asuka, and the main event for night 2. Night 2 would have been trash. I kind of agree. There was a turning point for me, at least in my opinion. Thoughts on the commentary changes to Monday Night Raw. So, Adnan Virk is really good. He used to work for ESPN, and he was doing some work for MLB Network, and I think DAZN or DAZN, whatever it's called. The Zone, yeah. Adnan Virk is a good commentator. I don't know how it's going to do for wrestling, And then they say that Corey Graves is coming to Raw, I believe, to get rid of Joe. So maybe, hey, tonight's Monday, Raw after WrestleMania, so we might see Samoa Joe back in the fold, and I really hope so. So that was night one. I already know your answer. What was your best match in night one?
The women's. And I'm just kind of sitting here recapping the whole night. That night was almost perfect. Get rid of the women's tag match and it would have been perfect. And again, the women's tag match was actually a really good wrestling match. But the result and maybe just the fact that it was even on the card was kind of not the best.
Man, it's like I love this night. I was so even like you said, the tag team turmoil match that could have been a SmackDown thing. The Braun and Shane match, I personally didn't.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. See, that's how much I didn't care for it. I forgot about it.
But it wasn't so devastating that it ruined the rest of the night for me. Yeah. Like it was just like I frankly don't care. This whole feud is just built up on him calling him stupid and dumb. So I just didn't care for it. But it didn't ruin the rest of the night.
Right.
And I don't know, man, you had great wrestling on this show. And obviously Bianca and Sasha is the match of the night. But Cesaro and Seth Rollins tore it down. And I don't care what anyone says. Cesaro needs a push.
Would you say that they burned it down?
Who do you think is getting called up on Monday Night Raw if there are call-ups tonight that isn't EO? I don't know. I really don't know. I thought Adam Cole, but there was a call after TakeOver where Triple H pretty much shot that down. So it's not Cole. I could see EO maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. You?
Who was I thinking of? Oh, Finn. But I want Finn to go to NXT UK.
Yes.
Because they need someone.
So do I. I mean, Finn versus Walter would be... Imagine that. He leaves WWE, main roster, becomes the NXT champion, loses, and then he goes to UK, and he's the one to dethrone the 8,000-day reign of Walter.
And I don't want Walter to ever lose the title, to be honest.
Frankly. Me neither. Adnan, Vart, Graves, and Saxton are the three-man booth. Joe is back. So, yeah. So, thank God. But what are they going to put Tom Phillips with Michael Cole? Because
great.
I like Tom Phillips.
No, I love Tom Phillips.
I could do without. And yeah, Michael Cole, I didn't even hear it because I was going too crazy, but I guess I heard it afterwards, obviously. But he, Sasha kicked out, the match would continue, and then it was Graves that was like, no. So I didn't even hear it. But in a way, and this is going to sound weird, I don't mind it because it kind of makes it seem real. Like he was so invested. I don't know because was he invested if he missed it? I don't know. I'm not even going to get into it. Whatever. How is the weather? It's Vegas. So let's see. What are we at?
It's 86 and sunny here.
86 and sunny. It is 84 and sunny here. So, and it's Vegas. So we're going to be probably at 112 tomorrow. If there's any better way to bring back Joe, it's tonight. I've been waiting. Cesaro versus Reigns at WrestleMania, Backlash on May 16th. Hopefully, if Cesaro gets the push. You know what?
The fact that they named it WrestleMania Backlash means we're getting rematches of every card or every match that we had at Mania. WrestleMania Part 3.
I wouldn't doubt that. I had an idea that because Big E lost his title, which we'll get to, I don't feel like WWE is just gonna not let him have a title. So what I think is that Cesaro is going to challenge Reigns for the title and he's going to lose. And then after that, Big E is going to be the one to beat him.
I'd love that. I'd love for either Cesaro or Big E to do it.
I just don't see as over and as great as Big E is. I don't see them just not letting him have a title anymore. So I don't know. Phillips is the new host of 205 Live. That sucks. I like Tom Phillips. I really do. And then a Joe versus Lashley. Hey, I don't want that because then Joe's going to lose. And I don't want Joe to ever lose. So, night 2. Night 1. Quick letter grade for night 1.
A.
A for me, obviously. Jesus Christ, The Fiend and Randy Orton. Fuck.
What a way to kill your show before it even starts.
I was stoked. I was happy. I didn't understand. Bray Wyatt goes through some type of portal and his burns are gone.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why? But they had him come out of a fucking Jack in the Box. I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. I was into it. And then he's on the Jack in the Box. He does the leaping clothesline from the top. I'm like, here we go. He tries to get the mandible claw on Orton. Doesn't work. Then he goes for a fucking Sister Abigail. I thought Kane was coming out because the pyro shoots up. And the Fiend is looking, and Alexa Bliss is sitting there. She has fucking black shit just dripping from her face. Randy Orton turns him around, hits the RKO. This match went 5 minutes and 50 seconds. The opener of night 2 of WrestleMania between the Fiend. 5 minutes and 50 seconds. What the fuck?
The match has been built for 5 months? 4.5 months?
I would say this match has been built more than the Edge and Roman shit.
Oh yeah, easily. And then I saw there's a page on Instagram that I follow that posts like statistics and time breakdowns and stuff. For both men's entrants, it was a little over 8.5 minutes. The match was less than 6.
That's insane.
And like we've seen the Fiend get we've seen the Fiend get massacred, and then he kicks out of stuff, and then he gets RKO'd once and gets pinned. Yes, he was distracted. Yes, blah blah blah. You can still kick out.
He took that thing that Orton does on the table.
The DDT.
Got right back up. No. He took the
back suplex.
Yeah, and he just got right the fuck up.
Yeah.
But one single RKO. I will say this. It does make me interested to see what the fuck is that. But the match was boo-boo, and the crowd knew it. The
crowd massacred it, dude.
And they were with it at first. They loved seeing the Fiend.
The Fiend's entrance was insane.
Huh?
The Fiend's entrance was cool as fuck.
It was insane, and they hated it. And I guess reports from people that were there, we should have asked Will, after the lights came back on and the Fiend was no longer there, they cut to a commercial for us, but the fans were still booing. Like, pretty fucking loud, too. So, I don't know. I'm just whatever. The same could be said about Randy Orton with his burns to the face. Not only lasted for a week. That's true, I remember that, too. And they tried to put the black under his eyes and whatever. What if Drew McIntyre gets drafted to SmackDown and we get McIntyre versus Reigns at SummerSlam? They tear it down. I'm kind of not over Drew McIntyre. I don't want Drew McIntyre to have a title now.
Yeah, I mean, he's had 2 reigns within the past year. Yeah, because he won at WrestleMania last year.
Yeah.
I mean, give him a little time. He doesn't need a title again immediately.
Nah, I agree. Orton was fined $20,000 for what? Like kayfabe or real life? I gotta know that. The Pandora box bit was great. The entrances took longer than the match. Yeah, like he said, Orton is now 2-0 against Bray. Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt have had 2 matches at WrestleMania, and they've both been shit.
Absolute garbage.
Horrible. Does Aleister Black join? Hopefully. I kind of need him back. Now the next one. Jesus fuck. The Women's Tag Team Championship match between Natalia and Tamina versus Nia Jackson Baszler. I'm not even gonna get into it.
Shayna is probably a top 3 in-ring wrestler favorite of mine.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna say she's my favorite, but in the ring she's incredible, and I can't stand her and Nia together.
Yeah.
They don't work well together.
I just can't stand Nia Jax.
Same facts. I don't think anyone can.
I don't know. Orton was fine for his kids and wife to be at Mania. He tweeted about it. Oh, I haven't seen. He tweeted about it? Wait, now I gotta know. While I go, while I talk about it, let me just. The finish was okay, I guess, but the crowd didn't really know what was going on because the crowd, you could tell that on commentary they said, oh, Shayna's legal. The crowd didn't really know that. So Natalya has Nia in the sharpshooter. Baszler comes in, gets her in the Karafuda clutch, and Natalya passes out. I don't care, but I will say this. After that match, I'm like, oh yeah, this night's gonna fucking suck. Like, the first 2 matches were just trash.
Yeah. And you were popping in here and there last night, but I was telling the guys, I was like, I'm just ready for this shit to end, dude.
It sucked.
Yeah, it was not good.
And I will say, oh, here we go. WrestleMania. This is what Randy Orton tweeted that, was it Daniel? Daniel said, WrestleMania, historic, one of a kind. Only here at WWE you can see the spectacle. Also, I was charged $20,000 for my family, wife and 5 kids, to watch Dad wrestle fight a demon and win. Oh, so maybe he had to pay for the tickets.
He paid $20K for his family to.
Saying that you're making, but hey, they gotta make their money back somehow, I guess. Whatever. So yeah, after that match, I was like, yep, this night's gonna suck, but we got saved. And I will say, in my opinion, hold on, before I do that, the Riot Squad, being the only legitimate women's tag team on SmackDown, have still not gotten their championship match. This is heavy machinery all over again.
I mean, why would WWE push a real tag team?
Really? They only put 2 singles competitors together, and they say go win the fucking titles.
Yep.
I got a drink in my throat.
That's why, like, the main event women's tag team championships, the whole reign has been, or the whole existence has been awful. And that's women's tag team is something that we've wanted for the longest. And arguably my favorite one, well, not even arguably, was the Iconics.
Obviously.
They're 2 of my favorites, but they didn't hardly ever wrestle. They defended it like 3 times, and they had the belts for like 6 to 8 months.
Yep. I'm with you. And yeah, Ryan, the highlight of the women's was the crowd. And yeah, during this match, the crowd was ridiculously behind Tamina. I think Tommy Dreamer actually tweeted, and they said, hey, WWE, pay attention to your fans. They were going crazy for Tamina. So
Tamina sucks, though. It's just because they were in Florida.
Maybe. Then we got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they just tore the fucking house down too.
They did what they do.
That's the best way to say it. They did what they do. Pop-up powerbomb right out of the gate. Sami hits Owens with a brainbuster on the apron that I did not think he was going to land good, but at the very second he did. We saw like both of them pull out their best moves. Zayn hit the blue thunder bomb. Owens got the frog splash and the Michinoku driver. It was the Michinoku driver that he like gets into a knee. It was that weird fucking thing. And then they had the callback. Sami hits the haluva kick, and Owens is leaning on him. He picks him back up. This is the Battleground 2016, I think. Forgot the year. Puts him back up. Goes for the second haluva kick. Owens super kicks him twice. Stuns him. The match is over. Logan Paul gets a fucking stunner for his troubles. And that was it. I mean, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, Sami Zayn, El Generic, they're going to be linked for the rest of their lives just because of what they did on the indies and stuff. They said, I think Kevin Owens said they've wrestled each other between 700 and 800.
They have to. Got to.
Can you still see me?
Yeah, you're good.
I can't see you anymore. Oh, there we go. We good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
My girl called. I don't know why. But they're always going to be linked. They said between 700 and 800. This is just, what do you expect? I personally could have done without Logan Paul, but he really didn't cause that much of a ruckus. That's it?
Yeah.
Looks fucking me. Moving on. Well, let's see. It was Battleground. Yeah. Best part of Mania was no fake queen buying anyone. Best part of Mania was I don't get it.
Maybe Charlotte?
Charlotte?
Burying anyone, I bet, is what he meant. Fake queen burying anyone.
Gotcha. The next match, we saw this before. We saw Riddle and RVD. Sheamus versus Matt Riddle for the United States Championship. This was a really good match too. I thought that they were hard hitting. They really did some stuff. There was a scary moment. Sheamus went for the white noise on the top rope, and his feet were like behind the turnbuckle, so he had to try to go up. And thankfully, they're both okay, but that could have ended out very horribly.
Sheamus saved both of their careers.
I definitely agree.
It was interesting because when he slipped, he literally just kind of slid and fell on his feet.
Right.
He didn't have to like jump and land or anything.
Yeah.
So thankfully, they kind of slid onto Sheamus's feet. But regardless, that could have been awful.
It would have been actually very scary. And like I said, I'm glad. Instead of going back up, he just does a normal white noise. A diving knee from the top rope, which I don't think I've ever seen Sheamus do that.
It's been a long time since I've seen it.
So, does that. Riddle springboards, does a moonsault, and holy shit, Sheamus just takes his head off. Bro kick upside down midair. Riddle is just busted open. And Sheamus is the new U.S. title, the U.S. champion.
Yeah.
Sheamus deserves it. I'm not going to lie. He deserves the title. He has been incredible. I'm just upset that Riddle had to lose it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think, like I said, he deserves it. The match was really hard hitting and stuff. It was up until this point, it was the match of the night.
Yeah, easily, yeah. And I might not have paid too much attention to it because we were having like conversations and stuff on here, but that finish was kind of scary.
Yeah.
Because you look at Matt Riddle and he looks all dazed and stuff, and he just has blood coming out of his mouth. It's kind of scary.
I agree. Sheamus Riddle was one of the best matches tonight too. I definitely agree. It was definitely up there. Then we have the Intercontinental Championship, the Nigerian drum match. Is that what it was called? Yeah, Nigerian.
Yep.
Both men just start kendo sticking each other to death. I'll speed through it. Big E hits a Uranagi from the apron to the ring steps. Big E hits Cruz with a big ending, and we think that's it. And in comes Babatunde Dabakato, runs in, kills Big E, and Apollo Crews is the Intercontinental Champion.
I missed the whole thing because I was in my kitchen actually dying.
So you were.
I missed the whole match. I don't know. All I saw the replay of the Uranagi, and as soon as I walked into my room, Dabakato came out and attacked.
So he did the chip.
How's your
mouth?
My mouth's fine. My insides hurt now.
Jesus Christ. I will say I was kind of reluctant. You didn't even see the match. The match wasn't bad. It really wasn't. I'm glad Babatunde Dabakato. I'm glad he's here. But the commentary team was like, "Who is this? Who's this guy?" Like, you saw him. He was on fucking Raw Underground for like 3 months.
He was on Underground. He even made a Raw appearance one night doing like the 24/7 bullshit.
That's right.
And now they're just like, "Oh yeah, who's this guy? He's wearing a uniform now. Who is this man?"
Yeah, he's like a fucking mask. I don't know who he is. It's ridiculous. The Raw Women's Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Asuka. I will be on this match. It was good, but I don't know.
Underwhelming.
Yeah, a little underwhelming between these two. Rhea's a heel.
No.
She was acting like a heel. She was slapping the shit out of Asuka's back of the head, talking shit like the whole match, kind of. I know she's a babyface. She was acting like a heel. Asuka hits this crazy ass a DDT from the apron onto the floor. Like, what? Dabakato is going by Commodore Aziz. Oh my god. I don't care. Asuka locks in the Asuka lock. Rhea flips back. Asuka breaks the hold. Then Rhea, the finish came out of nowhere too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was about 10 seconds behind Andrew. So we were doing thumbs up to see when people finished. And he put his hands up, and they're not even near like a finished predicament on my screen.
Yeah.
So like all of a sudden it's a Asuka lock. Rhea flips backwards and then does the what's it called? Riptide. Yeah.
Yep. So Rhea's the new champion, and Rhea and Bianca winning. This is kind of like I think it was WrestleMania 21. Batista and John Cena both winning the titles, changing the guard, and WrestleMania 20. Even though Eddie Guerrero was already the champion that night, Chris Benoit win, and they had Eddie and Benoit. It was kind of like a changing of the guard. This is what this feels like. Like we are fine. We know what the fans want. We know that Bianca and Rhea are just incredible. And yeah, look, Eli, Rhea turned on Asuka last Monday, so I was thinking Rhea was the heel in the match. So
I mean, out of the two, she would be, but I didn't really get heel vibes.
So I liked her entrance. I don't know. The singing was just kind of.
Yeah. Apparently, Ash Costello is not the best live, but
I'm not like a hard rock type fan.
Yeah. That's what I was most excited about, is seeing her perform live. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. So Asuka's run needed to end, I think.
That was one of the more lackadaisical reigns. She had the belt forever. And it felt like, because she was injured, and then she was just gone for like a month.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't even think, because Becky was supposed to be champion. But
yeah.
That's crazy. Asuka was the champion the whole time Becky's been gone.
She lost it once to Sasha for 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, I remember. And then
she lost it to. She was champ for a good 8 months, minus like a 3-week period in the middle.
I got you. So I like it. We'll see what Rhea does now. I was listening to Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette feels that Rhea is like the fucking face of this company. He thinks that she's just incredible, and I have to agree with him. I mean, she's incredible. And then this one's going to take some time, so buckle up, because there was so much that happened in this main event. The Universal Championship match, Daniel Bryan versus Edge versus Roman Reigns. Me and Devin were very upset that they did not have Tony Chimmel come in and do the Rated R Superstar. Like, that, I don't know. First off, Roman tosses Bryan and Edge out of the ring. Jey Uso super kicks to both of them. Edge gets mad, hits an execution onto Uso onto the ring steps, and the officials come and they say, you gotta go. There was a nice little spot where both Edge and Roman are trying to hit their spears. They're both ducking it, and then they both go for a spear and collide shoulders. That could have went very bad. The guy's got a bad neck. Bryan hits the yes kicks on Roman, but Daniel Bryan never hits the last one for some goddamn.
I don't think he's ever connected on the last one, ever.
He'll hit it later. He'll come back to it, but he'll never hit it consistently. Hits Edge with a running knee. Bryan hits a yes lock on Roman. Edge breaks it up. Bryan puts Edge in the yes lock, and Roman breaks it up, so they're going back and forth. Roman puts Bryan through the table while he's on the ring steps. Edge comes from fucking out of nowhere, spears Roman off of the ring steps onto the floor. They go into the ring. Edge tries to bring a chair into the ring, and Roman rips it apart, kind of breaking that little bottom piece. And I don't know what I said. Edge locks Roman into the
Canadian.
Can't even think of it.
Cross arm.
Crippler crossface, let's call it that. And weirdly enough, my peacock cut out right when he did that. So I think that's WWE saying they want nothing to do with Daniel Bryan. We saw a lot, or Chris Benoit. We saw Daniel Bryan do a diving headbutt and then a crippler crossface. So I don't know. Do with that as you will. I actually loved this spot. Edge has him in the crossface. He has that little thing. Roman's about to tap, but Daniel saves his hand, goes in the ring, puts him in a yes lock while Edge has the crossface on. So they're both trying to submit Roman, and they're just headbutting each other, like trying to gain position. And I'm like, they got bad fucking necks. Like, what are they doing? Bryan's, he does the stomps to Edge's neck or his head. Edge nails Bryan and Roman with a spear. He pins Roman. I thought it was done. Roman pulls the ref out of the ring. I'm like, you son of a bitch. I seriously thought the match was over. Edge goes nuts. He gets mad. Brings a chair in, starts whacking Roman and Daniel with him. Sets up a concerto on Daniel Bryan. Hits the concerto on Daniel Bryan.
Scary times.
Scary times indeed. Goes to hit Roman with the concerto, but Jey Uso is back. He must feel okay. Edge gets Jey with the spear, but he forgets about Roman. Roman spears him. Roman hits a concerto on Edge.
And then pins both men.
Stacks them on top of each other and pins them both. I thought this match was fantastic.
Story-wise, him pinning both men is... I would have never thought of that. Like,
Not those two.
That was genius, pinning both of them at the same time.
And technically, Edge pinned Daniel Bryan, so just saying.
We were just talking about something. Oh, when both men had the submissions on Roman, apparently Roman like tapped, but I didn't see it. I just saw people talking about it on Instagram, but I didn't see it. But it wouldn't have mattered.
Nah. I mean, they would have just restarted the match anyway. They would have been like, oh, there's no winner. I think Roman winning here was the right choice. I do. This might be Daniel Bryan's last Mania, and if it is, it was a great one. And Edge, I just don't know. I think Roman, it was kind of a swerve because I think a lot of people thought that the only reason Daniel Bryan was put into this match was so he can take the pin from Edge. And Roman, instead of saying, who am I? He said, fuck it, I'm just going to pin them both. So they both lose. I just thought it was a really good match. I thought it was really great from start to finish.
It was very good.
So what, is that your best match of night 2?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Let me look at the card real quick. Because I was going to say, let's see. I didn't see the Paulo and Big E match. The Fiend and Randy Orton's butt. Asuka and Rhea Ripley was a little underwhelming. Sheamus and Riddle was good.
It was.
But yeah, I'd say the main event was definitely the best match.
So now taking that, so what, out of both nights, what was your best match of the whole weekend?
Of just WrestleMania?
Just WrestleMania. Because obviously none of them came close to Walter.
The Walter and Ciampa match wasn't even my favorite of the NXT weekend.
What?
No, dude, the Cole and O'Reilly match was hands down my favorite of NXT.
That match went a little long for me.
Of the whole weekend, Bad Bunny and no, I'm just kidding. The women's SmackDown.
Yeah, I kind of, it's women's SmackDown, and then Cesaro and Seth is like right behind there. I think we all agree easily night 1 was the far better night. Not comparable. And I'm going to be honest with you, I like the 2-night WrestleMania.
I just don't like it because I have to worry about getting off on time both nights. I'd rather just have to worry about one night, but I mean, it's just me. But
because you got to think about it.
We're getting more people.
Sitting through 8 hours of WrestleMania, that shit drains on you. At least with this, it's like 4 hours, cool. We'll take a break, go to sleep, do what you do, and then come back for another 4. I like the 2-night.
And we're getting more opportunities for people.
You are. So that was our recap. You have anything to add, Mr. Carradine?
I really liked the spot on the SmackDown Universal Championship when what was it? Roman powerbombed Bryan onto the table, and then he was just like flexing and shit, and then he got speared off the steps. Yeah. That was my favorite segment of that whole match.
It definitely came from out of nowhere. Like, out of nowhere. I mean, I guess you kind of knew it was going to, but Edge personally came out. And yeah, Clinton, I'm going to touch, so they're saying that may not have been Bray last night. It was 100% Bray Wyatt. You could see he had the tattoo on his neck, and Bray Wyatt now has a hand tattoo, and he was doing, you can kind of see it. Plus, it sounded just like him. He did the yeah, and he did the thing that Brody does. So it was 100% Bray Wyatt, yeah, Brody Lee. I like that, man. Just seeing the Fiend do that, like,
yeah, that was nice.
So, all right, that was our. I don't know if is Andrew doing a Raw watch along?
I don't think so. I was going to, but probably not.
Okay, if he does, I'm not sure. If he does, obviously you guys will get notifications. Hopefully you have notifications turned on wherever you watch. That was our WrestleMania recap. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat my Chinese food now.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to go do. I'm about to go have dinner.
Good deal. All right, my name is Mike. Obviously, that is my friend Chris. We are Respect the Ring 2 of
He called me his friend.
That is a guy I know, Chris Carradine. Anyway,
my stable mate.
All right, guys. Everyone have a great night. Be safe out there, and love each other.